All right. All right. I have notes that I took. So let's start with the top. Vincent Nicotra has been fired. About time. This guy was employed, I'd say about a month longer than he should have been. So, I guess better late than never. Now, more interestingly, he brought up the laptop right off the bat. I suppose in some attempt to dissuade people from completely shutting him down. Now, he claimed that the FBI was still contacted, went through the various bureaus, so he claims to have that information. However, he threw Vincent under the bus, claiming that Vincent had lied about the FBI receiving these things, that they were never sent there in the first place, yada yada yada. So, he seems to be throwing Vincent under the bus in a big way. He's also downplaying his entire involvement in everything, saying that he had, quote, no involvement in the investigative process. He was vetting the victims for you. To say he had no involvement in the investigative process is disingenuous. So I'm not going to let Chris Hansen off the hook so easily. Okay, and I love To Catch a Predator. I love all that stuff. But no. Shady. Now, he claims that 19 police calls came to Onision's home last year. Yikes. Now, I do believe Chris Hansen about this, that local law enforcement is cooperating with him. Yes, that's fine. That is believable. The good old boys will have some credibility with Chris Hansen. Now, the local police sheriff went on record or the Pierce County sheriff went on record to claim there are investigations locally. So that is confirmed. And went on record to claim that the FBI is also in contact with them. Also on record. So, my statement in that video, for those who did watch it, about Chris Hansen has lied and scammed us, did mention that I do believe there was already a previous FBI investigation open. I do believe that to be Shiloh's investigation. I am highly skeptical about everything Chris Hansen's saying about being in touch with the FBI. It sounds like he's out of the loop in that he's off doing his own thing. So, they went from there to talk about Onision's daughter's injury, falling out the window. A skull fracture and a hematoma. Life-threatening things. Stevie Wolf mentioned it as well. Could lead to brain injuries, long-term. Nothing to joke around about. How this was allowed to happen is beyond me. It's not like she crashed through the window. It was wide open. So, yeah. I'm not gonna say that kids should be coddled, I used to climb trees when I was a young kid. If I'd fall and crack my skull open or something like that, doesn't make my parents bad people. But from what I understand, this girl was 2 and an open window that she had access to. Yikes. We have to draw a line somewhere here. Now, it seems like the Pierce County Sheriff's Office is leaking more information to Chris Hansen, which is not surprising. They probably are starstruck by his mere presence. I know most people would be. However, something interesting happened when Mike Moore showed up. Chris Hansen was never served by Onision, so it would appear as though he has no obligation to show up, so he's just going to blow the whole thing off. Which makes sense. Adversely, though, Onision is required to appear and to explain themselves under oath, legally, or the whole thing is dismissed. So I keep hearing reports of people going there to, spy on it, see what's going on that happened at the hearing. So I look forward to seeing his urgent explanation, especially for what I'm about to get into. Apparently, his first petition was so ridiculous that the judge denied it, and he had to write a second one that was mentioned. Aha. Okay. They brought up a possible abuse of the court system. There was like an all caps on the petition that he marked as an emergency. The lawyer, who's this old man, Mike Morse, looked absolutely flabbergasted why there would be all caps on an official legal demand. As would I be. What the fuck? This dude is on something. Now, from there, he went on to discuss the penalty of perjury, because he'd be testifying under oath about all of this. Jail time. Like, all of them are various amounts of jail time. What the fuck has he gotten himself into? Apparently he had no lawyer involvement in this. This is something you can just go file on your own. Anyway, moving on from that. They went on to say, of course, about how it was all lies. Same thing for Repsions. But Stevie came on looking absolutely pissed, as he normally does, but especially pissed tonight. The first thing I noticed they got into was the militant veganism. That thing was absolutely essential, I think, in the Onision story. It should have been mentioned. He's an absolute psychopath when it comes to people who eat meat. God forbid you're a hunter. You are essentially someone who goes out and kills and skins people for fun. Now, they moved on to discuss the cult of Sisesco, which is something that has gone completely unannounced. He has a globalist pedophile cult that supports the genocide of meat eaters. Why this went unmentioned in all the interviews is beyond me. Stevie Wolf is doing the Lord's work. Now, they went on from there to talk about his Air Force. Threatened to commit suicide as an attempt to get kicked out. That was well known. I've also heard many stories that he, essentially did the kombucha video in real life, stripped naked in his commanding officer's office, and what was the term? When he was talking to that manager from Shiloh, be a human. Essentially started doing that while stripping naked. All alleged, of course. I don't want to slander the man. Don't sue me. Now, from there, they went on to discuss They wanted to discuss his special forces training. Now, he was kicked out for refusing to kill a rabbit for survival training. Why would you join the military if you weren't willing to kill something? Talks about Onision chasing Sky off YouTube for a bit, which is absolutely disgusting. He did it to pretty much anyone who spoke out. Essentially sicked his fan base on him like a bunch of globalist cultists. Absolutely common and disgusting. Yes, and a special point. The mistreatment of the animals. He brought up the baking of the turtle. He didn't mention anything about the dogs. He mistreats the dogs, too. He films it when it has leg problems. It doesn't help it at all. It's disgusting. Okay? I find that even more disgusting than the human victims, as someone who has 5 dogs and 2 cats. Absolutely disgusting. He shouldn't even be allowed to have pets. Animal control is way more willing to take things than child services. So, why they haven't stepped in there is another question mark. Now, they went on to mention as well, Stevie will be back on, because he is a fount of knowledge. He can get into so many things that probably I don't even know. And I've been following this for a very, very long time. Now, another thing that was mentioned that I knew about that needed to be mentioned. The Amazing Atheist. I watched that guy a long time ago, back in the day as well. He came up with fake drama, or he wanted The Amazing Atheist to come up with fake drama with him to go on some TV show. What the fuck? There's a video where he talks about that on his channel. It's one of his more highly viewed videos. So, I'm sure people will track that down. You can find it online shortly enough. Something else I noticed. A $200 a night hotel room. Onision is not broke. Now, I'm not going to speculate about my pedo ring theory video here, but where is he getting all this money? He is in debt everywhere on paper. Where is he getting all this money? Think about it. That's all I'm saying. Also, a big shout out to Chris Hansen for mentioning that Jeffrey Epstein died in his jail cell. It makes me a little more confident, at least, that Chris Hansen isn't in league with the globalists and isn't a CIA disinformation agent. So, yeah. I will end by saying Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Have a good night.